Hi, and welcome to Star Lighthouse. I'm Prashant, and this is weekly reading for Sun, Moon, Venus rising in Cancer. This is a general read, so I suggest you take whatever message resonates with you and leave everything else behind. And if the reading does connect with you, there is an extended to it. The link for that extension is below in the description box. I hope you liked the reading, and if you did, please do like, subscribe, and share. That would be very helpful. So, Cancer, how are you doing? How has November treated you so far? Take a deep breath. Let it go. Think about the thought, the feeling, the question that brought you to this reading. Whatever is bothering you, just think about it. Take a deep breath and just focus on it. Maybe this reading has an answer for you. Let's see what's going on for you in middle of November. Four of Chalices, looking to find emotional stability. And probably there is a lack of awareness about how far you have come, like a complete evaluation and slightly under-evaluation about it. Blocked by Devil. Your own fears about something. Past situation. Eight of Coins. Lack of belief in achievements or reaching to some achievement. And since it's like Four of Chalices is currently blocked, so it could be lack of achievements. That could be creating this lack of self-love and then creating this lack of like emotional stability, and you're seeking that outside. Mind's ambition. Tower. So you are going through some emotional transformation or career transformation or something like, let's see, Heart's Desire. Nine of Coins, looking for stability with money. Future situation. Knight of Coins, finding ambitions. Suggested advice or action. Seven of Coins. Context for this advice or action. Ace of Swords. So it's like suggestion is like dream but with clarity. Hopes and fears. Queen of Swords. And potential outcome. Ten of Wands. So for some reason the Tower card, without this Tower card, this reading is like amazing. It goes towards abundance and stability. But for some reason there's a Tower card which is pointing towards that there is some sort of like unhappiness right now. And with this Devil, it points towards like there is some lack of belief, lack of like full trust in yourself, in your abilities. So that's where this Knight of Coins is talking about how you need to have more ambitions, or you need to start believing in them. If you have dreams, you need to start believing that you can make them reality. Somewhere that feeling has been lost, and that's where initially when I saw this Eight of Coins, I started thinking that it could, like, see how you're looking at the Pentacles. It could be a feeling that where you are so far, comparing it to what you want it to be, it's really imbalanced, or you're not able to fully appreciate your current achievements. At times, like because this reading seemingly point towards a lot of coins, so this seems towards like your perception towards career, money, or success. So at times, like our evaluation in this fast-paced world, it becomes we start creating these illusionary milestones that by 25 you'll be here, by 30 you'll be here, by 35 you'll be here, and then we attach some metric figure to it, which seemingly becomes money, and we start targeting that, okay, we would have this much money by then, or we would have this much money by some other time. And so you might be currently at one of those stages where you're looking, or especially because of this year and slowness of this year, it allowed you to get more retrospective and start evaluating and analyzing how your progress has been, your success compared to your milestones and the metrics you set has been so far. And that's where this tower card comes in, which is pointing towards that you might not be satisfied, or like you might even be unhappy with where you are at. And now you're trying to understand, like, why is that happening, and that's creating this feeling of lack of self-trust, self-doubt, not believing in yourself. That's where the Ace of Swords came out. That when you seek to move out of this space where you are in currently, where you are over analyzing your current achievements, where you're not able to create that self-trust, the only way moving forward from this space is when you establish that self-trust, when you find that Ace of Swords. That only comes in with full understanding of the situation, Queen of Swords, being completely intellectual and compassionate with oneself. Like, it's Queen of Swords is like a very diplomatic, compassionate, intellectual card. And this scenario clearly points towards you getting to that space where you can comprehend all the information coming towards you about your own achievements and about the environmental factors around it that might have either blocked your achievements or might not have supported its growth. And that's where it's like an understanding need to be formed where you can find those opportunities, where you can find those situations where your career can bloom. Like how this in Ten of Wands, the garden is blooming and it's like now ever growing abundance. So going back to the achievements, it feels like not getting to where you want it to be. Or now analyzing your achievements, comparing them to milestones, or even like social recognitions or peer standings. That might be creating this feeling of lack. A feeling of not fully acknowledging the situations, the reasons, that the choices that created the path that led you to your current moment. You have to remember that was your own free will, your own choices, that if you are not exactly where you want to be, so like where you're not expected to be, and rather now you're where you are, the difference between that is because you're not appreciating that there were reasons in the past that you made those choices. Now, if you're not happy with those choices, you need to understand the reason behind that, your previous logic, why you, or your belief that you made that choice in that particular situation. That's something to be looked at, to see why you are not fully validating your past choices or not appreciating how you managed through all those situations in the past. So looking at your achievements with a feeling of lack, with a feeling of comparison with your peers or social recognition about it, or comparing it to the illusionary milestones that you set at some point in your life. That's what's creating this feeling of lack of self-trust, fear inside yourself. And that has what created, you've created your own devil. You've created this devil which is like so stuck in his mind, cannot get out of it. And then the more you stay inside, the more everything seems like seemingly far out of reach. Like every completion seems far out of reach. It's like the more you go inside your head, the more procrastinating you become. The more procrastinating you become, the less you're able to produce. Your efficacy keeps decreasing. The more your efficacy decreases, the more procrastination will be. It's like a vicious cycle going towards where you just get stuck completely inside your head. And now you're binded by your own devil. See how this devil, on the both sides, there's your shadow self being bondaged by this devil. And now there's a feeling inside you that there's no one coming out for you to rescue. And that's where this transformation card is, this tower card is. Which is telling you that this devil, the feeling of lack, looking at your achievements as if you haven't done enough so far where you are at, that's what's stopping you from moving forward. That's what's stopping you from believing in yourself, to creating that self-confidence inside you that the next time you see an opportunity, next time you see a situation, you can express yourself, you can take up that role, that situation to completion. And every completion will bring you more confidence inside, more self-trust inside, taking you towards all these ambitions that you seemingly have, dropping away from. Because the more you're getting bonded by this devil, the less you're believing in yourself. And the less you're believing in yourself, the less you're trying out, or even you're getting more dependent on other people and their help. It's like it might not be even visible right now, but the more you get into that space where you're asking for other people's help, the more you would keep getting involved in it, to a point where your existence might get dependent on them, or your money and your abundance about the wealth around it might get dependent on them. So that's what needs to be separated. That's where this tower card is. That's where the transformation needs to happen. And an understanding needs to be created that what you have done so far, where you are at, there were reasons, there were choices. Appreciate them. And if you seemingly somehow don't understand why you made some choice, then there might be some subdued emotion about it. So ponder on that choice. If it bothers you, take some time, ponder on that choice. If it's an old memory, try to write it down so that you can be more accurate about the facts and your choices and the emotions about it. That would help you not to miss the facts. The reason I'm saying this thing is, it's for you to fully appreciate your current situation, your current achievements, and realize that if you are happy and you have self-trust and self-love, moving forward with complete self-awareness, with full clarity, will bring you all the ambitions that you might be subduing, the gardens that you've started ignoring. This abundance you're basically ignoring right now, because you somehow got stuck in this devil. And this seems to be years of being discontent by your success. Because getting to a devil stage, getting stuck in your mind is one thing, but getting stuck with completely the devil where you cannot seemingly know how to get out of, and you end up finding tower cards, that kind of situation happens there. You have probably gone through the same cycle of incidents time and again and could not find a solution outside. So the more you try, it's like a hamster running inside the wheel, and you seemingly keep running on the same place because you seem to not know how to get out of that. So that kind of situation seems like happening. And that's where the Tower card came up, pointing towards that either you choose to get out of this devil situation or you'll be forced out of that situation. Meaning that it could even be that it might lead to a job loss or a loss in project or the opportunity or very important situation that you were hoping for. And that might kind of push you over the hill, over the edge, to finally release this devil inside you. That's where the Tower card is. That either you now decide to release this devil, if you're finding it hard by yourself, maybe find some help to discuss your feelings and emotions and your blocks about work. That would allow you to understand your fears and allow them to release them. And if you don't, you might face a situation that might lead to a potential financial opportunity loss, a project that you might be involved in, or it could even be a job loss. Because your feeling of lack has started creating a barrier for you to grow, and for you not to be able to grow, people around you are not able to grow. And also, like, if you get stuck in the situation where you don't have enough ambitions for yourself, people who you might be supporting or people like who are in your ecosystem, they also would not, like, they would start behaving the same way. It would have a trickle down effect and cause a lot of like lack of self growth, which seemingly is like getting blocked right now because of lack of self worth. So stop blocking that abundance. If you're finding it hard, as I said, try to appreciate where you are. You have to understand you are where exactly you're supposed to be. There are reasons in the past you made certain choices. Today you might not be happy about where you are at, but there were reasons why you made those choices. And appreciate them. Appreciate the emotions behind it. And that's where this Queen of Swords is. Like, be compassionate with when you're listening to your own self. When you're talking about with yourself about this lack of achievement. And then you go back and try to see why you did certain thing that probably put you on a track which kept reducing your potential achievement. So instead of overanalyzing those moments, try to appreciate them. And if yet you still do, then try to understand all the emotions. Try to write down all the facts about those situations so that you don't try to assert your own point about it. Rather, actually see what happened in that moment. That would give you the appreciation of your choice. Once you find a contentment with all what you have done so far, where you are at in this moment, once you start realizing all the self-trust, the self-love that you were lacking, this lack of self-confidence, it was all just a myth. It was all just a fear. It was a devil that you created for your own self. You would transform automatically to this new space where you find your own clarity. You find that clarity, that self-trust would take you to new opportunities, to new situations where you can re-establish, reaffirm your ambitions and create that abundant garden. So Cancer, release this feeling of lack. Release this being overcritical about your achievements. It's actually time. Tower card is pointing towards you either make that choice for yourself or sooner or later that choice will be made by you, be given like a possible like tower movement, basically like jerk action, where you might lose something, making you realize what you had was really valuable. The only thing, you were not valuing it. So this lack of evaluation, this fear about your growth, or the subduing of the ambitions, not evaluating your achievements or evaluating them against someone else, not appreciating your choices, all that needs to be released. Try to appreciate every single choice you made in the past, find contentment in that. Once you find contentment in that, that's what would allow you to re-find the self-trust, self-love. Self-trust is what you need when you have to find clarity in your judgment again. And that's what's missing, and that's what's missing you from going forward. Even asserting yourself in the right opportunities or expressing your entire voice, it's being blocked by your own lack of self-trust. You're blocking your own abundance. And the tower movement is here to tell you that you either make that choice for you, that to shift towards abundance, or the choice would be made for you, and then you would have to go through a cycle of learning the lesson, like realizing the whole lesson. And that can create little unsteadiness for a while. So actually, one of the other suggestions would be that take up this daydreaminess energy. Take up this daydreaminess where you might, like in this current space of lack of achievement, you might you might shoot for the stars. Your heart, your logic, everything would tell you that you're shooting for the stars, and currently you're not in reality. It would tell you constantly that, hey, come back to reality. In that moment, just allow your mind for a few of those like precious moments to think about a possible like dream which currently might even not seem visible. But let it just imagine that dream. An imagination of that dream would allow you to reinsert an old ambition that might have been lost in your subconscious somewhere. So that daydreaminess, interaction between conscious and subconscious, would allow you to release some of the ambitions that are forgotten or lost. That also would allow you to release this devil, because if you start dreaming and then you try to feel positive, try to take action towards this, that you not being able to charge towards or not being able to complete your current task might have been creating might have made this devil like more bigger than it seems. So for you to make this smaller and smaller, it's like that marshmallow curves. You have to start imagining things about it. It's like you have to bring out your own Ghostbuster to kill that ghost. And one way of doing it is create new dreams, try to chase them. That will create some confidence. And then that would allow you to release the devil. So Cancer, I hope that you're able to choose the side of the abundance. You find ways to appreciate your choices in the past, and you can dream of an amazing future. And meanwhile, then you can find this clarity inside you that will allow you to find new opportunities, new situations. If this reading resonated with you, there is an extended to it. In the extended, I would look more at your current aura energy, how to balance if we face this tower moment, or how to balance our thoughts before we can actually, we can try to avoid that tower moment. So how to balance the thoughts for that. I would also look into messages from the oracle regarding how to believe in this abundance, and if like this tower moment is to happen, when it's likely to happen. So all of that I would look in the extended. If you would like to join me over there, the link for that is below in the description box. I hope you liked the reading, and if you did, please do like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, and have a nice week. Bye.